Hey guys, what's going on? My name's George and welcome back to the Floor It YouTube channel. So we're in the M3 and today we have a really exciting video. We're going to be wrapping the wing mirrors of my M3 in carbon fibre. Now, I've never done anything like this before. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. So this is going to be one hell of a video because I'm either going to absolutely smash it or I'm going to absolutely fuck it up. But you know what? If we fuck it, we fuck it. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, all these parts cost me about £15, so really not that much out of pocket. I'm just purely doing this for fun. And you know what? If it looks great, then even better. Like, I can't really complain with that. I'm just doing all of this for fun, right? So all of the parts cost me about £15. It doesn't really matter if I fuck it. And who knows, right? I could absolutely smash it and it could look fantastic. And I'd just save myself £300 rather than spending 300 quid on some carbon wing mirrors. Because if they come out great, then why the hell not? The reason I wanted to get the replacement caps was because they fitted OEM. So if I can wrap the actual OEM wing mirror caps in carbon fibre, then even better. So I bought everything I need, and when we get to the garage, I'll run over everything that I bought. So we're heading down there now, and yeah, we're just going to give it a go. So I'll meet up with you guys when we get to the garage. All right. Okay, so we're at the garage now, and let's go over the things that I bought in order to do this. So first of all, obviously, you're going to need some carbon fibre vinyl. Now, I picked this up for about 10 quid off of eBay, and I'll link it down in the description below. If you like the look of it, go pick it up. I've got an absolute shit ton of it, right? We've got loads of vinyl, and this is purely because I have no idea what I'm doing at all. So if I fuck it up, I can just cut a new piece and start again, and I'm not restricted by 2 or 3 tries. We can really go at this all day just to get it right. Now, there are a few different types of vinyl you can buy, and to be honest with you, I was a little confused about which one I wanted, but I ended up going with the 4D version. And the reason for that is because it's a little more matte looking, but still has kind of a gloss shine when it gets in the sunlight. Because I was looking at some of them, and when they were really gloss and really shiny, it just looked fake. And I don't want it to look fake, I want it to look carbon fiber. So that's kind of the route I wanted to go in. This kind of came out okay. I wanted to get a 1x1 weave so it would exactly match the roof, but ultimately, beggars can't be choosers, right? We're doing this for £15. It may look slightly different in terms of carbon fibre, but I'm just looking to change up the car right now. I've got the carbon fibre wrap. What else do we need? First of all, you're gonna need to get yourself a set of these squeegees. Now, all of this stuff will be linked down in the description below, so you can easily find it. Basically, this is a little bit of plastic with some felt over the edge. Literally, as we put the vinyl on and we stretch it over, we're just gonna be squeegeeing this down to get all of the air out of the vinyl because we don't want any air bubbles when we're doing the wrap. Next, go and pick yourself up a set of kind of plastic trim removers. Now, you can wrap the car with the parts still on it, but also you may want to remove them. So if you do want to, get yourself up a set of kind of plastic trim removers. Again, links in the description. This was £3, that was about £4. Again, both really good things to have kind of in your toolbox, so it's all really cheap stuff. And then secondly is go and pick up a hairdryer. It doesn't have to be a Dyson hairdryer. Go and pick up your mum's, your missus, whoever's hairdryer you can. This is simply just to heat up the vinyl so it can stretch easier, and also means that when you're stretching the vinyl and you heat it up or we put it down, it won't shrink back to its original size. We're kind of reforming the memory of the vinyl. Okay, so actually it's pretty simple then, really, if you think about it. So first step is that we actually need to clean up the wing mirrors. Now, the car itself is filthy and I'll be cleaning it later on. I haven't got all the time in the world today, so I want to do this first because I don't know how long it's going to take me. So it's currently 1:30, so let's try and get this done. Okay, so as you can see, we've got lots of bugs on here, so I'm going to need to clean the surface down. So I'm going to be using a Maguire's Quick Detailer and a microfiber towel. Spray over, get the bugs off, because we want a clean surface before we start putting the vinyl down. Okay, so let's get some cinematics of the painted caps on the car first. The car is dirty, but I'll clean it up when we're going to do the carbon fibre ones. So keep this in your minds, and then let's go ahead and do the wrap. Okay, so luckily I've actually had someone here that's friends of my dad that actually knows how to wrap cars as well, so he's given me a few pointers. Now originally I was going to try and take the covers off to kind of wrap it to make sure I can get underneath it. Now he's advised me to wrap it with the cover on the car, and the reason for that is that once you take this off you need a solid surface to work around, and actually I don't have anything here like a workbench or anything where I can put the cap on and actually lock it down so that it's not going to move anywhere. So he was like, just try it on the car first. Basically I've cut out a piece, decide which way I want my carbon fibre to go. I want the carbon fibre to go, the lines to go away from the car and then opposite on the other side as well. I've cut a piece that's kind of the right size and a little bit more, and the reason for that is that obviously I'm just trying to figure out how it works. I've actually only got really enough attempts for about 3, so I've got to be really careful with how I do this. So what he's advised me to do is to peel the backing off halfway and then cut that with a knife. And then what I can do is apply the middle to the spine and work my way up with the bottom still having the backing on, meaning that it's not flying about anywhere in the wind or catching on the car. And then once I've done the top, I can peel the bottom off and then work myself through. So let's give it a go. Okay, so I've cut off the back side of the tape. Dodgily, I admit, because I'm not amazing at doing it. But I've cut off this bit, and basically it's a little bit windy today as well, so I'm kind of happy that I've done this, because it means that when the bottom end of the wrap is blowing around, it's not going to be sticking to the car. So I just need to position myself properly. I want the lines to be going that way, so this needs to go like that. Okay, so I applied the vinyl to the spine of the mirror cap and I got a little bit excited and started going with the squeegee, but this wasn't working and I was getting loads of crinkles. So I took the hairdryer and applied lots of heat. This made the vinyl much more easy to work with and allowed me to just stretch it over the mirror cap and get a really, really smooth finish. Once I'd done this, I then took the squeegee and worked my way around the mirror cap, making sure I got out all the air bubbles or any creases. Okay, so what I learned there was that heat really, really works. I was getting loads of crinkles and bubbles and everything in there, and it was really hard to work. But what I did notice was that I've actually kind of heated it so much that the carbon fiber's warped slightly. But right now I'm in absolutely no position to be moaning. It's smooth. It doesn't matter whether it's warped slightly. If it comes to it, I can always buy more and come and do it later again. Today I've only got a certain amount of tries, so we're going to take this win while we can. Okay, no, so time to do the bottom. Now, like I said before, I've actually still got the paper on the back here, so I'm actually just going to peel down slightly and slowly work my way back so it doesn't get stuck against the car and I've got to deal with all of that. So again, like I said, heat really works, so I'm going to be heating the shit out of this. So learning from my eagerness last time, I started with the hairdryer. I applied lots of heat and continued to rework the vinyl. It's okay to pull the vinyl back, reheat and then squeegee down again because the vinyl is actually surprisingly malleable. Okay, so first problem, it curves. I didn't plan for the curve, so I'm going to need to stretch that. Shit. Let's just focus on the rest of it, we'll come back to that. So after realising I made a really rookie error, I decided to continue to work on the rest of the wing mirror. I was constantly heating and pulling the vinyl back just to make sure that I can get a smooth finish across of it. I was really surprised upon how malleable the vinyl was, even though I continued to rework those areas. Okay, so I think we're done on this one. It was hard. It was fucking hard. Especially as I had no idea what was going on. Heating the vinyl worked really, really well. Plus also, I didn't factor in this little corner piece down here, and I kind of fucked the bit where it joins there. But everything else seems okay, really. So I'm gonna take the knife and cut around without trying to cut any of my car. Okay, so I've got a razor blade and I've also got one of my plastic trim pieces. So as I go round, I'm gonna be tucking in the vinyl where I can. So I'm just gonna go out and outline where I'm gonna be cutting. Okay, so cutting the vinyl was actually harder than wrapping it in the first place. You had to be really, really careful as you were cutting to make sure that you left enough vinyl so that you could fold down underneath the mirror cap to prevent any of the paint showing through. This is where I failed on a few attempts, and that's purely because the margin for error is so small, and as it's being my first time doing it, I wasn't prepared for the millimetre of difference between it being okay and paint showing through. I used a plastic tool to work the vinyl in between the mirror cap and the bodywork. This worked really, really well, but however it took a few attempts to make sure I can get it to stick. I then cut away the excess vinyl and made sure that the mirror cap actually had a decent finish around the edge of it before moving on to the bottom of the mirror cap. Now this was harder obviously as it was underneath the mirror cap, but what I found was that I was able to fix some of the mistakes that I made previously. You can see here that there's a white triangle that I'll come and fill later on, and that's because I made that mistake right at the beginning. Okay, so wing mirror number 1 is done, and do you know what? Actually came out really, really nice. There were a few mistakes I made, like if you look carefully, if you can see, but there's little bits of white here in the crack, right? This is where I cut too close to the edge. And also here, I cut a little bit too close to the edge, and the vinyl shrunk back because you can see I stretched it here. Realistically, when you're here, right, you don't see that at all. You're just looking at it as a wing mirror. Underneath was a little tricky as well. I got a bit lucky over here. I managed to kind of fix that error I made with the triangle, and the cut kind of saved all the shit bit of work I did with the vinyl there. We actually got really, really lucky, right? And actually, I'm really, really liking how it looks. I'm gonna have to move the car into the garage because it's so hot right now. It's just unbearable to work in. So we're gonna need to have a look. But here's an example, right? Carbon fiber, paint. So this is what we looked like before. This is what we look like now. Looks much, much better. So, okay, right, I'm gonna move the car inside and then we'll do the other one. Right, okay, so one's done. Now we're gonna start on the second one. So car's now inside the garage. Mainly because, oh God, it's just so hot out here. It's just so hot outside. Much, much better in there. So let's go ahead and get it done. Okay, so same thing as before. I've cut myself a big piece of vinyl. So this time we're gonna have it so that the lines in the carbon fiber are going this way, whereas the other side are going the opposite way. Now, we've got quite a big piece again. Now what I learned from the last one is that give yourself as much room as possible. I tried to like line the outside of the vinyl with it last time and that wasn't the best. So I've cut myself this piece and I'm simply gonna bang it right in the middle. Now I learned that heat worked the best last time, and also what we did that worked really well was I cut away half of this backing sheet. So again, I'm going to cut half away, and then we stuck on the spine and worked our way up to the top, and then we did the bottom because this bottom bit wasn't flapping about or getting stuck to the car. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I learned a lot from the first mirror cap that I did, and actually I started a bit stronger with this one. I started using the heat straight away, which allowed me to really work the vinyl onto the mirror cap, and actually I got through this a lot faster than I did the original one. It really shows how actually trying on the first one can teach you a lot for something that you haven't really done before. Heat is honestly the key to making the vinyl stick to the mirror cap. It really makes it easier, and as you can see here, I've made much faster job of this than I did in the past. I use heat to stretch the vinyl out and then use a squeegee to push the vinyl down onto the mirror cap and work around the edges. I worked further than the edge I was cutting to make sure that I had a straight edge before I was going to be going at it with the knife. The edges on this mirror cap are actually really difficult to do. However, I managed to kind of save it while I was cutting, just to make sure that I could stretch the vinyl around the bottom and ensure that there was a really smooth connection between the end of the mirror cap and where the bodywork started. These squeegees are a great investment, and they really made it easy to get a smooth finish on the mirror cap. As you can see here, I'm almost done. However, this probably took me about half an hour to 45 minutes quicker than the last one. I went around the mirror cap again with a hairdryer just to stretch out over the edges, just to make sure that when I'm cutting the vinyl that actually I have a smooth line when it comes to it. As I was cutting this mirror cap, I made sure to leave more space so that I could tuck the vinyl under the mirror cap better than I did in the last one. Now, I did still make some mistakes, however, the margin for error on this one was better. I continued to work back the material after where I cut and follow through with the plastic tool to make sure that I was bending the vinyl back behind the mirror cap as best as I possibly could. Again, cutting underneath was slightly difficult, however I managed to do a better job of it on this mirror cap than the last one, which kind of makes me want to go back and redo the first one just to make sure I can get a better finish across the edges. I then went round with the plastic tool on all the edges just to make sure that I had a perfect finish, well, as perfect as I could get anyway for my first attempt doing this. Okay guys, right, I'm finished. So that took me about 4 hours in total, I reckon. Now, the actual wrapping bit itself didn't take so long, but the cutting really did, because you have to really make sure that you are cutting in the right places. I learned a lot on the first one, and the second one does look a lot better. I still made some rookie errors. However, like I said, this is my first time doing this, so I'm really happy with the result. So let's just run some cinematics, and you can see exactly what the new wrapped wing mirrors look like. Let's go. Right guys, so as you can see, these look absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy with how they came out. It was a really big gamble to say, let's just spend £15 and see what we can do in terms of wrapping. Lots of you reached out and gave me tips, which I'm really thankful for. So thank you very, very much. I couldn't have done this without the tips that you gave me. And you know what? I'm really, really happy with how it came out. I've always wanted to have carbon fiber on the wing mirrors of this car. And this kind of the price tag was the thing that was making me hold off, making me wait. So I'm really, really happy that we can have that look for £15. And if you do this, it costs you 15 quid. I might come back and do this again. I have now learned a lot from doing this, right? So all I need to do is spend £10 more, get some more vinyl and have another go. It really, really wasn't that difficult. There were some bits in terms of understanding how to move the wrap to get it to curve how you wanted it to. But the wrap is so malleable that it's just trial and error. You just have a go. If it doesn't work, pull it back, heat it up, have another go again. So it's actually very forgiving. We just got a nice carbon fiber roof and I moved down to our carbon fiber wing mirrors as well. And as you can see, I angled the carbon fiber so that it's moving away from the body on this side and then away from the body on this side. So just be careful of that when you're laying it on. You don't want them both going the same direction. I think it looks mega. I'm so happy with it. So for all of you that told me I was going to fuck it, I didn't. Well, almost. I'd say it's about 80% well done. But for my first attempt, I am very, very, very happy. So if you made it this far in the video, please subscribe to the Floor It YouTube channel. It would mean so much to me. We're getting so many subscribers now, and it's really great to see all of you watching the videos. Also, follow me on Instagram at M3Floor and follow me on Twitter at FloorItOfficial. We've got a really great community. If you have any questions or just want to chat, please DM me. I reply to all my DMs, and it's so great to talk to you about all the things that I do in the videos. So that's it for this week's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay fast.